Hey folks, hope you're doing well. It's Peter here, and well, today I just wanted to jump on and I wanted to talk about my Land Rover. I have at the moment a TDV8 3.6, which has been giving me a little bit of bother. It's still not just working the way I would like, and I would like to get it going better. So I wanted to kind of bring you along and share with you what's happening with it. This is not my first Land Rover, nor it's not my first TDV8. This is actually my second 3.6. The last one I had, it actually broke on me with a EGR failure. So the EGR disintegrated and went into the engine, and that was the end of that that affair. I did get it rebuilt and all that, but eventually I just sold it. And I wanted to get back into a Land Rover, so I ended up buying a 2008 Range Rover 3.6 TDV8 Vogue SE. I'm quite happy with it. Like, condition wise, it's quite good. There's a few things on it that need working on though, that do need fixed. The side step on the driver's side is damaged at the back. Apart from that, well, I suppose not. I'll rewind. I had it for about about a week. And the turbos decided to fail. I was accelerating and just pop, and they went. That was the end of them. They stopped working. So I had to get new turbos put into it, and ever since I got it back, it's been coming up with engine system fault. Now, I remember from my previous Range Rover that can be related to the inlet manifolds, the pipes there, so on the intercooler. So what I did was I replaced them. That made no difference, and it's just been cutting power since. Now the mechanic that had it, he replaced a part in it. Don't ask me what part, and it's not erring as much, but it's still actually erring quite a bit, which is a bit annoying, because it's still giving me bother. And I am now at the stage where I'm kind of annoyed with it, like, because you can't really trust it on an overtake, okay? But it's going back into the mechanic. He's going to replace the manifold cover, and hopefully that will fix the engine system fault error. You just drive along, you just turn the key, very quick flick of the key, it resets, it's back working, but it's not really something you'd like to leave like that for a long time. So that is getting fixed. Now, also, one of the problems I'm having with it, and what I want to really work on today, and the problem I want to look at, is the suspension. Now, my air suspension's been giving me bother on this car for quite a while. So ever since it came back from the garage after getting the mechanic to basically replace the turbos, the suspension just basically started acting up straight away after that, okay? And you might be thinking, okay, well, that means it's related to the job. Well, it wasn't exactly. It was a day after it came back, it erred, and it never been right since. Now, the error I'm getting is exhaust not decreasing when venting. Basically, what's happening is you start the car, that error comes straight away. If I clear the fault, it's still there, it still errs, and it's, to be honest, a flipping nightmare. So I wasn't really sure what the problem was. So I actually had a friend who had a spare Range Rover, an older TD6, which isn't on the road. And I asked him, could I take the compressor, that whole unit, the dryers, everything out of it, and just swap it into this one, just to see is that the problem. Did that, no luck, still has the same error. Okay, I then went and I swapped I didn't swap them, these parts I bought the three valve blocks, because it was like, okay, look, buy them second hand, get them cheap, stick them in, see if they work, see if they fix the problem, because some people were saying it could be a valve block problem. So I went and did that, made no difference whatsoever. I swapped the valve blocks out, and the error is still there, exactly as is. So let's remember now, I've went and I've swapped the complete compressor and dryer, I've went and swapped the three valve blocks, still nothing, and it's still the same problem, okay? And the car will hold height. If I start it, it'll raise up. It does lose a bit of air overnight, but it'll always pump itself back up. If I can just keep switching it on and off till it just starts self-leveling. Otherwise it'll err and it'll just disable the system. So I'm kind of like, what else could I do? And I decided just to chance my arm on getting like a AMK compressor, which I want to install. So I went to start installing that, and unfortunately what's happened to me now is that I've got an IID tool from Gap Diagnostics, from when I used to have an old Discovery 3, and I went and put it into this car, bought a license for it. It detects the L322 and it scans through all the different modules, and then all of a sudden it won't do anything. It won't let me adjust the buttons. So what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to actually check that against the Discovery 3 to see if it's my car or if it's the IID tool, because I haven't used it in a few years. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to reflash the car for the AMK compressor and then install this secondhand AMK compressor. Because I didn't see the point in buying a brand new one until I knew like if this is the problem or not. Like I paid £100 for it, I might recondition it. But if it's working fine, stick it in, it works, I'm happy. So that's what I wanted to do today, but I couldn't get there, but that's where I'm at. So this is my IID tool, which I have for the Land Rover, or for the Range Rover I should say. Now you can see here, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah. So I got a license for my Range Rover for this IID tool, and I thought I'd just plug it in and that'd be it, it would just start working, but unfortunately it doesn't. So I'm going to go out to the car and I'm going to show you what goes wrong and have a look and see can we get it going. Another problem I have with this car is every time I open the door, the alarm goes off. Now that's actually the key, which causes that. But unfortunately, because I don't have this working, I'm not able to program a new key, even though I did buy new keys for it, but no one will program it. And if I get this working, I'll be able to get the keys. But here it is. So let me show you around. It's rather nice. The back is, well, the back needs a wee bit of work, but overall, no, it's a very nice car, right? So let's see, can I show you what happens with this IID tool when I put it in, right? So first things first, right, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put it in here. It's IID tool in, let's start it up. First of all, let me show you the errors, right? So, everything seems to be working there. Oh, look at that. Air suspension light has gone out. Train response is still on. This is where we're at here. Suspension fault. And you can see there the car has 133,000 miles on it. It's very, very low mileage, I must say. Actually, strangely enough, I've had this car, I got it about 128,000 miles. I've been all over with it. Did the Highlands of Scotland on my honeymoon, so drove it the whole way around, and I have to say it was a brilliant car, but we had a cut engine system fault, and we had this air suspension problem. Okay, so, moving on, right? I'll just show you in here, right? So, let me see. Here's that at the moment. Let me just plug this out and plug it back in. Right. So just plug the IID tool in. Let's show you what it does. Okay. L322 detected. Right, so that's as far as we get. Unfortunately now if I click up or down, nothing happens whatsoever. So I'm not sure, is it the IID tool or is it something here in this car? Now, some people said just to move the tool about. That's what Gap said on their website. It made no difference. Other people said move the steering wheel up and down and then try it. Now sometimes if I do move it down, just come up with something different. I don't think in this case it's going to do it. Let me try it. Push it in good and hard. Yeah, nothing. Just there working away with voltage. And like, to be honest with you, that is the biggest problem with this car. Now, suspension back, try to raise it up, bring it down, gone. even though it's moving out the front. Look at that. It just levelled. But it's going to error here in a second. Maybe not. Yep, suspension fault. So if anyone has any like advice to get this IID tool working, it'd be absolutely brilliant, because this problem is really getting annoying now, and it's been going on for just a long time. And like I fixed air suspension problems many's a time. I remember I had an old Discovery 3 that I bought, and the previous owner had removed the air suspension and put in coils, but all it did was that. So it was just like continuously. Like, I bought it like that. I knew what the problem was, and straight away I just got suspension bags, stuck them in, and do you know what the problem was? The problem was front left ABS speed sensor. That was it. £6 I think they could have fixed it for. Instead they spent I don't know how many hundred putting in coils and not even doing it properly. So I understand air suspension, but this problem is really bugging me. So I'd love to get this car working right. But as you can see, like, it is holding its suspension. It's just not doing it right. But yeah, that's where it is. So if you want to follow my Land Rover journey, I ask you to subscribe as we get this car working 100%, and lots of exciting videos to come, but it'd be great to have you on board. So folks, thank you very much. Take care.